Okay, another section here, client outreach. It almost writes itself. That roadblock that we covered in the building and curating your client and referral networks, clients don't want to be bothered. We talked about it here as well. That really doesn't exist. If you're hearing and you're learning from all of what we're going through so far, you've got to stay top of mind. You've got to talk with your clients. You've got to calendar regular outreach to them. Clients don't want to be bothered. That's old news. That's old school. They do want to engage with you for all the reasons that we're talking about. Let's work through a couple of scenarios. These are actual client outreach scenarios, both as we deal with roadblocks and as we deal with potential scripts. It feels like a cold call. I hear this from attorneys. I don't want to reach out to my clients. They know who I am. They know what I do. When they have an issue, they'll call. Besides, getting a hold of them would feel like a cold call. What do I talk about? Remember that when we had that a moment ago? Think of 3 things they're losing sleep over. Remember that list before? Remember that list of 14 client ways that you can engage with your clients? It doesn't have to be a cold call at all. There is a very easy and simple way to make it a value add, to make it a meaningful conversation, to make it an impactful engagement. So just get over that one. If you have that issue, then here's a solution to work you through that. How about another roadblock? I don't want to bother them. They'll call me if they need me. Send an article, an invitation to a webinar, an introduction to a resource, comment on a LinkedIn post, anything but work. Again, this is helping you stay engaged, helping you stay top of mind. So when you have that hit you like, I don't want to bother them, here are ways that are really not bothering them at all. I'll just send an email. Email has its place and it can be great, but when you're talking about client outreach and client engagement, this is really high-level business development. It's high-level relationship building. Much more happens on a phone call. Now, sure, you might say on an email, hey, can we have our brainstorming session May 14th or 15th at 10 in the morning? Which date is better for you? You could send that email, but that brainstorming session better be by phone and better be live. So don't hide behind email when it's high-level client engagement, when it's high-level outreach. The matter already ended. Okay, fine. Was it recent? Are there things you can talk about? Do you have kind of a post-mortem with clients or with your internal team? You'd be amazed how many clients want to talk to you about the way you communicate during this litigation, the team that we worked with, the deliverables, your billing format. Wow, I sat in a conference where in-house people were talking, in-house counsel were talking, and I won't mention the name, but it was a high-end tech firm who fired their law firm because they didn't like the look of their bills. Another guy jumped on that and said, you know what, I asked them in the status updates to not just say, here's a status update and attach a PDF, because I'm on my phone. Can you just summarize the status update in the body of the email? They did it like 3 times the wrong way, and the company fired the law firm because they weren't getting what they wanted. So you can ask them, how do we perform our services? How is our billing? How is our outreach? How is our communication? That might be a great subject for you. Make it manageable. We do this in the business plan for lawyers session where I work with you and we choose 2 or 3 clients, 2 or 3 contacts for planned intentional outreach. Now you might say, and lawyers do raise, well, I can't just limit my conversation or my outreach to 2 or 3. There are 50 I talk to throughout the year. Okay, let's choose though those 4 to 6 that you really want to be intentional with, that you want to reach out to once a quarter, and let's map that out. How about a couple of possible scripts for you? Here's one, maybe to a new GC or a CLO, Chief Legal Officer. Maybe you're larger, a mid-sized firm, you're reaching out to their in-house person. You can read the text here. I'm not going to read it to you. Hit pause if you want. It's very interesting to see, though, the dynamics that happen when a new GC or a chief legal officer comes into a company, right? There's a period where they're just trying to get their feet under them. Then after about 2 years, they start to, okay, I know what's going on, and now I'm going to flex my muscles a bit. I'm going to change some of the firms that we work with. I'm going to change some of our processes because I was brought in as the new chief legal person. So you knowing this and you reaching out, building something around that might be a possible script. How about to a services or a manufacturing company about employment issues? Here's a great beginning of an outreach for you. So roadblocks, getting past those. Scripts, giving you some ideas on how you might do focused and engaging client outreach.